And right now we are diving into Elgon Cup ladies version of the game, Kenya versus Uganda. And of course I'm joined in studio. Here we are live at the RFUEA grounds. Ladies, it's Elgon Cup today. It's Elgon Cup today. And welcome first of all. Let's start there.
Thank you.
Karibu sana. I know it's a very hot day, but a beautiful day for rugby. Now getting into this game, I know Uganda actually trailing getting into this game.
That's true.
Anything you're going to change different from what you did in Kampala?
I think we're going to work on our defense. Our defense wasn't that great in Kampala. I think that's the major thing that we had time to change in 1 week.
Yes.
Yeah, and then we got one player who was doing exams then, one of the good players. So we hope that she'll boost the team a bit. Well, she's only one player.
Okay.
So she'll do what she can do.
No, one player is always at times what you need to change the game.
Yeah.
So, in terms of other than working on the defense, do you think that the defense is the only thing that let you down in Kampala?
No, it wasn't. It was basically fitness and strength and conditioning. Okay. And that is not going to change in this game.
No, a week is quite short.
Yeah. And our preparations weren't that good, but we're using experience and heart. And we're coming to defend the title.
Yes.
So we expect a bigger fight and hoping that the margin will be smaller.
Because actually the Uganda is actually the defending champions of the Elgon Cup.
Yes.
And this time around the scores in Kampala did not reflect that. The 33-15 was actually a big margin. So it means you need to win the game by at least 16 points.
That is true.
Yeah.
We're going to work very hard. It's a huge task. But once we do it, we'll be excited.
Yes.
But we're willing to work on that.
Okay, just to bring in Sarah, welcome first of all.
Thank you
and
very much.
Now getting into this game, the Kenyan ladies side must be feeling confident after the performance they had in Kampala.
Yes, they are. Of course, having a look at it, and they've played a couple of the games, and their preparation is not only Kampala. They've qualified for the IRB qualification, and that's where the target is. So playing an Elgon Cup for them, it's like just working on the few things that they need to do. And if you ask me, probably they'll not change any of the single tactics that they use in Uganda, other than bringing in filler, which probably that it will be like a big,
a boost to the team.
A boost to the team, because they will, of course, now the game will go up. Filler is not a young task, and she's played a couple of the games, which I believe that things will go as per their wish.
So there are two players that are coming into the game that one not there in Kampala. We've got, stepping in a very experienced player for the Ugandan side, and of course bringing in as well an experienced player for the Kenyan side. Do you think that these two players might actually be the game changer for either team? Let me just start with you.
Oh, okay, I should mention that we've lost Charlotte Mudola, who's an experienced player due to an injury. So that was really a big loss. Helen Buteme, who could not make it in this campaign.
Yes.
So it's we really have a big loss. So it's the little we've done. We hope will make a big change.
Okay.
Just,
bringing in filler.
I'm very optimistic. If you ask me, I've played rugby. I know when the team is sharp. And this is the point that I'll tell you for sure. Kenya team is very sharp. They know what it is that they're looking for. Besides the tries is not all they want. All they want is just to see narrowing the mistakes and making it to, the more points they score, the better for them.
So it's both teams are looking for issues of consistency, and of course,
the consistency is
so we can promise that we're going to have a cracker of a game, whichever way this game goes.
But it's not going to be easy if you ask me again. It's not going to be easy, Larry, if you ask me. It is a hard game, and it's a game of rugby. It's 80 minutes. Anything can happen. Anything is possible.
I know the Ugandan side is a very mean side, especially in attack. Maybe, you compromise so much in terms of defense, attacking all the time.
It's true, our defense wasn't good last week.
Yes.
But this time we're going to see an improvement. Our scrums were good. Our forwards were perfect. I think they were really good. We're hoping that our backs will do a better job. We believe they're going to do a better job.
Yes.
We learned from last week. We saw who the strong players were, and we're watching them, and we're going to make sure they don't do what they did to us. Okay, now just stepping away from today's game, the Elgon Cup, just general talk about issues of ladies rugby. It's starting to pick up. Both federations, both rugby unions in Uganda and Kenya are actually recognizing the importance of promoting the sport. What can you say about ladies rugby in general in East Africa? What I can say, it's true, it's growing. And even in Uganda, I can see the younger players, the under-19s, both in the city and up country, together with tag rugby, are really building. When it comes to the adult team, we've had a hard time this year. I think we've retrogressed in terms of preparations, but we believe that that's not going to let us down today. But in terms of the whole East Africa, I mean, Kenya is doing a lot, going to Dubai Sevens, going to Hong Kong. There's so much that Kenya is doing, and I believe with that, we're going to see a growth, a better sport when it comes to women, better players.
Yes, because I mean, eventually, when you're talking about issues of Elgon Cup and you're talking about an East African affair, we'd like to see Tanzania in there. We'd like to see Rwanda getting into the fray, both for the men and the ladies teams. I mean, is it just narrowed down to issues of finances or issues of interest when it comes to the sport, Sarah?
Probably, I won't say the interest per se, I'll say the financial. From my experience, being the captain for Kenya Sevens, being the captain for Kenya 15s, coming out as a different person, as a coach, as an international referee, when it comes to finances, it becomes an issue. Probably when it comes like, we tend to need more.
Yes.
And the game of rugby, it's growing. So guys look at it as a different angle where we need to have put money aside. Whereas money was not put aside, but the women's rugby has actually grown in leaps and bounds. So no one expected the game will grow. It started as a small thing, but now it has grown.
Yes.
Again, now we are trying to stretch them. And I know by time, again, things will look up if you ask me. So it's a game that it's growing and it's going places.
Now, just from a Ugandan perspective in terms of the sport, how is ladies rugby received in Uganda? Are people saying that these are bullies who only play rugby? How is ladies rugby perceived in Uganda?
No, initially, that's what they were saying, bullies, it's a man's game. But now I think it's becoming accepted. In fact, you'll find parents, brothers, friends encouraging their sisters, their daughters to play the game. I think they have accepted it's a game that gives even the girls confidence. Yeah, and it's a team sport that gives the advantage that team sports give any player.
And of course brings issues of discipline. I mean, rugby is a disciplined game.
Exactly, discipline. And when these girls play with other girls, they aspire to be like them.
Yes.
They aspire to jump on the plane and go out there, play international. So
everybody wants to travel.
Yeah.
Okay.
So really, it's growing, and the people's perception is changing slowly but surely.
Okay. What about the Kenyan perspective? Anything different? Is it growing? Is it retrogressing?
No, it's growing. For Kenya, I really like it. We've really struggled with Uganda. If you ask me, we've never won a game in Uganda. This is the first time we won a game in Uganda. Now we are here again. It has never been easy, Larry. Let's accept it.
Yes.
Let's give credit where it's due. Uganda's really fought it. They've been to World Cup. We've never been to World Cup. They've been to World Cup qualifiers in Dubai. We've struggled. This year, things have looked up for us. So at some point in life, we say, something good has happened, and for sure it has happened.
May the best team win.
And again, may the best team win, like you say.
May the best team win, but of course both teams are still chasing the victory.
Yeah.
Nothing is won yet. Nothing is won yet until the final whistle.
Yes.
I mean, it's an uphill climb for 16 points to get that margin, but are the girls psyched for this game?
Yes, they are psyched for this game, and remember, till the whistle blows to end the game, the ball is still on. Yeah.
The ball is still on.
The ball will still be rolling. It will still be rolling until the final whistle.
Now, you've been a player, you've been a captain, you've been a coach, you've been a referee. As a coach, if you are a coach right now for the ladies team, if you're Kevin Wambua right now, what is he thinking? What would you be expressing to the girls right now?
I tell you, it's never easy for Kevin, and I'll tell you for a fact. Kevin, there's something that he's looking for. He's not looking for anything short than glory. They've done it. They've proved it. Everything is easy. What he needs to do, he needs to retain the win. Winning is never easy.
Yes.
You can be number one, but retaining that number one will never be easy. And that's what Uganda is coming to do. Uganda, they want to give Kenya hell. And it's not going to be easy. So Kevin, I know, back in his mind, he can't sit and say, let's wait and watch. It will never be like that.
Now, if in the dressing room, put yourself in the position of the players. What are you thinking of right now? What is the coach telling them right now before they take the pitch, knowing that they have a huge hill to climb? They have a 15-point deficit to match up. What would the word be?
He is saying you are better players. You have done it before. You can do it again. Stick to basics. And let's win our set pieces. And we can do it.
Set pieces is actually a key thing, because watching the game in the under-19s, Kenya versus Uganda, line-outs were an issue. I mean, it was a bit scrappy at the breakdown. Experiencing the same problem with the ladies team in Uganda, for example?
Uganda, our line-outs are not that good. We hope they'll be better. Our scrums were fantastic. I liked it. They could be better. Yeah, but this time we hope there will be some improvement.
So in terms of solid play, you're okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Only time will tell. 80 minutes of fantastic rugby action. It's all happening here at the RFUEA grounds. This is the home of rugby. And of course, it is the Elgon Cup. We've done the under-19s. Right now, we're moving on to the ladies' version of the game. Kenya versus Uganda. We'll see you at halftime.
Welcome back to the RFUEA ground for the 2014 Elgon Cup. Match coming up next sees the Uganda Lady Cranes playing against the Kenya Lionesses. Last week in Kampala, it was victory, 36-18 for the Kenyan ladies. Will they be able to manage to actually have a similar feat in Nairobi? Next 30 minutes will be actually what will be the determinant. On the commentary booth is Hilary Teller and my able colleague William Juguna. William, I'd like to find out your take on this game.
Well, I mean, Kenya did a very superb job last week in Uganda. I thought that margin was fantastic. They won by 33 points to 15. And the bonus now, the onus is now on the Ugandans to get back into this game and score 19 points to win this game. It won't be easy. It's an away game. And traditionally, Kenya has done well at home when they play against the Ugandans. And that is, I mean, from what I'm told, was Kenya's first win in Uganda in quite a long time, by the way. So it's up to the Ugandans to fight back and win this game here at the RFUEA grounds in Nairobi.
Of course, great rivalry between these two countries at all levels. The Kenyan ladies and the Ugandans probably have played each other more than 20 or so odd times since 2007. In the initial stages, the Ugandans had the advantage, and it looks like in the recent past, the last 2 or 3 years, the Kenyans seem to have managed to get some spring in their stride.
Absolutely, yes. The Ugandans have had the edge over the years, but Kenya winning now, and that in your picture there is Paulina Lanko, who is head of women's rugby, with Dennis Ombui saying hi, wishing Kenya the best of luck. And they've already done that to the Ugandan ladies. So this promises to be a very interesting and explosive encounter, because the Ugandans have to score more than 20 points or 19 points to win this game. And the Kenyans, of course, won't want that. Speaking to Kevin Wambua on Thursday, he was confident that Kenya was going to win this game and that they're not going to underestimate the Ugandans.
Of course, the Kenya team, a very experienced side. A bulk of this team has perhaps been intact for the last 6 years. Current captain Doreen Remor, who was moments ago in your picture, the dreadlocks, leading the dignitaries to saying hi to the Kenya team. A former soccer player in her own right, has been in this team for the last 7 years, which also has another 2 captains, Celestine Masinde, also a previous captain of the particular team, playing at number 13, and Philadelphia Orlando, who did not play in Kampala last year, makes an appearance in the starting lineup for this particular match, the second leg. I mean, do you think that she probably was being spared as a secret weapon, and maybe she might be the one that would change everything in this game, William?
That's one question which the star coach Kevin Wambua did not tell us on Thursday when he was naming the team. But hopefully, maybe it's a weapon which the Ugandans have not seen in a long time, and it's one area which maybe they will punch holes Kenyans, they will try to use her maybe as a battering ram or a nifty footwork to win this game.
So a bit on the lineup, Uganda will have Warren Sefunka at number 1, Fortunately Ramkunda at hooker number 2, Christine Kizito, a very experienced player, has actually now elected to move into the front row from her preferred center position. Fiona Nalubwama number 4, Evelyn Aweku at number 5, Helen Gizamba number 6,
okay, behind the kicker
number 7, Beatrice Atim will be the 8th man, Rosenberg Kanyunyuzi at number 9, Harriet Kayonjo playing in the fly-up number 10 position, Emanuela Oroma, I beg your pardon, number 11, Brenda Kayi playing at number 12, and then at number 13, Ashana Kicho at number 14, Rachel Kakare will be the fullback, and the replacement are Stella Charikunda, Zura Namtovu, Irene Zige, Mary Nakalike, Charity Matingo, Regina Tieno, Mary Kyoita, Matilda Tino, and the coaches former Ugandan international Brian Makalama.
On the Kenyan side, the lineup is as follows: is Emily Ochieng, Alo, Rosehild Kamanga, Dorcas Ocholi, Millicent Opala, Rachel Odhiambo, Stacey Awor, Kamilino Oyayo, Mary Otieno, Mary Musieka, Doreen Remora's captain, Janet Awor, Phila Orlando, Celestine Masinde, Janet Okelo, and Irene Atieno. Your substitutes are Janet Midecha, Laventa Ogutu, Clementina Atieno, Sheila Chagira, Evelyn Odero, Linda Nandwa, Gentin Sumwaro, Lina Tura, and the coach is none other than Enos Otieno.
Team by Uganda. Watch offside, Kenya. Stay onside. Team playing Uganda advantage.
Used to go around and develop this particular code. And I mean, 2 months back, we were in Machakos seeing the inaugural Car 7s, Kenya.
Kenya release! Back foot here.
Rather, so I beg your pardon. Having lost to South Africa in that particular tournament, did actually manage to qualify for the IRB Women's Series qualifiers to be later on in the course of the year. And of course, just trying to see if at all they can have similar inroads in the 15th version of the game in Africa.
Well said, by the way, I think both sides are very much far behind the standard bearers of South Africa in the women's game.
Okay,
but
Uganda.
trying to make inroads and maybe just trying to make sure, like in the next couple of years, they have structures and systems to play the game. And Uganda starting very, very promisingly there with the attack there. Warren Sefunka taking the ball into contact, by the way. And it's the Ugandans who have started the match better because they need the points in this game after losing by 33 points to 18. And the Ugandans here on the attack, and a good tackle there from Janet Akelo. Good tackle there.
Janet Awora, a very outstanding player. Very, very fast, quick off her feet, and I bet, I can almost put a bet, William, that she'd probably be able to clock less than 12 seconds in the 100-meter dash.
Well said, Hillary, by the way. Yeah, she's quite quick. But the referee has taken us back to the center. There must have been an infringement earlier, and they will go for the posts.
Just from the replay, they could see number 7 for Kenya, Camilo Noor, was just a lazy run in that track. Did not observe the offside line, and referee Constant Cup, much to his credit, placed in a very good call, and Uganda have a sniff at putting in the fast points on board today.
Yes, first sniff at goal for the Ugandans. We are barely 2 minutes old. It's a match, the second match of the day in the Elgon Cup. If you're just joining us, Kenya under 19 have just beaten Uganda by 27 points to 12 to win the Elgon Cup under 19 category. This is interesting.
Yes, Uganda electing to do the drop kick. Almost went in, just getting on the crossbar. And you can actually see what Uganda is trying to do. They're trying to put in any points they can on the board because they're certain that perhaps opportunities may not be as many as they would expect in this game.
Absolutely, yeah. But I thought Doreen Remore
out Uganda.
Rushed that kick. She really rushed that kick quickly. I think she should have taken her time.
Mark is here.
And alleviate the pressure on the Kenyan side.
Give. Okay. 10 Kenya.
Kayonjo with that missed penalty for Uganda. It struck the crossbar. They called it actually a penalty. Started to me more like a drop goal attempt.
Taken back.
Definitely did. Of course, notable absentee for the Ugandans today is Inspiration 7 captain Helen Buteme. Helen Buteme is one of those players who can give them an X factor.
And on your feet.
Well,
back foot Uganda. Back foot.
They brought in a good team, although it would have been great to see the, Helen Buteme really excites when she plays.
Yes, Helen Buteme had an outstanding tournament at the Car 7s in Machakos 2 months ago.
Manuel Oroma not finding any way left, right, or center through Janet Warren. This time almost electing to run across. The ball spilled out. The referee called for a knock-on advantage, and Philadelphia Orlando has been adjudged to have been offside there.
It's one area which the Kenyan teams will have to work in today. The discipline, we saw it with the under-19 teams, the lack of discipline early in the game. And so far the Kenyan women making a similar mistakes. The lack of discipline in the game could cost them. Yes. But still early days. We've only played 4.5 minutes of the Elgon Cup. It's the Kenya Lionesses against the Lady Cranes.
Of course, these two countries that share a border. Kenya, Ugandans, neighbors. Uganda is placed, sorry, I beg your pardon, to the west of Kenya. And vice versa holds true for Uganda. And, you know, any particular code, be it soccer, be it rugby, be it basketball, is always likely to generate some level of heated passion. And of course, I mean, just to the right of the commentary booth, there's a very strong contingent of Ugandan fans who are definitely making certain that the girls don't feel like they're all alone. And Uganda, with the onslaught, great running there by Asha Nakitio.
Look! No hands on the ball, back
It was a very promising run, but I just thought she didn't have the support to take that ball well. And she was well sorted out by the Kenyan defense.
Camille Nawar there just making amends for her earlier penalty that almost was slotted in by Uganda by making a very, very nice tackle there against Asha Nakitio. So, Asha Nakitio playing in the 7 small, you know, spiky runner. Yes. I mean, you'd have actually thought that she didn't have the ability to play
number
this game, but she's already within the first 6 minutes shown her ability in this game.
Absolutely. And Kenya penalized once again there for an early hit in the scrum.
Release, Kenya! Rock, that's okay!
We haven't seen any from the Kenyans.
Side entry.
And Kenya gets a respite there. After sustained pressure from the Ugandans.
Of course, I mean, the excitement is perhaps getting into their heads. They already have the ball consolidated. They didn't need to actually have anyone rushing from the side. And unfortunately, 5 meters away, near the try line, they lose the ball. But still on the onslaught. Great catch there by Irina Tieno, Kenya fullback. She's got numbers.
Yes,
Philadelphia London always prefers the route one approach. Draws in 3 defenders. The Ugandans just fanning up quickly after every tackle. Quite aware of the speed that the Kenyans have in the back line and not willing to get any of their players sucked in.
Yes. Very well said, Hilary. I thought, I agree with you. They should have probably have gone for the direct approach, and probably they would have brought in sucked in a couple of defenders on the Ugandan side, but they wanted to go lateral and to go wide, and hasn't really worked for them so far. Still early days here at the RFUEA ground. A very small crowd for this game, but definitely the crowds may pick up as we head to the big one at 4 o'clock between Kenya and Uganda. 7 minutes gone. It's Kenya 0, Uganda 0. Each side trying to test each other in this Elgon Cup second leg match. Remember, if you're just joining us, the first leg saw Kenya winning by 33 points to 18 last week in Kampala. Good kick there from Doreen Remore as she finds territory. Kenya will be happy to play in the Ugandan half right now. Rosehilda Kamanga with the line out.
Of course, having lost 36 points to 18 last week to Kenya, Uganda would have been able to regroup and have a look at, you know, the sort of mistakes that may have resulted in that large scoreline. And you know, from the initial stages, you can see that they are preferring to keep the ball within the forwards and very little activity in the back line, except for the occasional dash that Aisha Nakitio and Emmanuel Oroma have had. They look like they are deciding to keep this, you know, slow up in the forwards and probably grind out a result at the end of the game. Absolutely.
Good line out there from the Ugandans there, teaching the Kenyans 1 or 2 about good line out. Because we had a very messy line out a couple of seconds ago, and the Ugandans are taking the ball into contact, trying to build a rolling ball from here, but it's been taken down. But still Uganda on the attack. Good attack there from the Ugandans.
Still returning the ball up in the forwards. They're not flashing any ball out. They seem to actually understand some level of dominance may be in existence in the forwards. They look like they have bigger players out in the park, and as it stands right now, they're just tearing the Kenyan defense into shreds. They've actually moved about 20 meters back. First time the ball is moving on out into the wide. As expected, the centers perhaps a bit startled when the ball got to them. Did very well nonetheless, still retaining possession. They've now done about 7 faces from the initial time they scratched the ball, and they still actually have numbers on out. Kenyans having to do a lot of defending in the earlier stages, and Unfortunate there by Uganda holding onto the ball. That is a call that the referee says, and Kenya get a get out of jail card just for now.
Just for now, yeah. I mean, the Kenyans there just been able to stem that tide, and try and win that ball. But scrum half there, Mary Musieka too eager to start the ball, and Kenya now their first attack of the game, by the way. Musieka looks for her forwards here, by the way. Good break there from
Rock! Back foot here.
Janet War. Musieka again, trying to look for her runners.
Emilia Cheng, one of the more experienced
Release
players,
Uganda, roll away.
Ball, driving and getting some hard 10 yards.
Back
Mary
foot
Musieka
Uganda.
having to get a platform. Doreen Remoras asked for the ball. Philadelphia Orlando, they're looking like they're playing a Celestine Masinde. Now this is an exacting backline. Irene Otieno starts to come back in. Philadelphia has the ball, and it looks like something might be in the offing for Kenya here. Irene Otieno receives the ball. She started it. She almost had an entire clear path to the try line, and great tackle coming in there from Beatrice Atim.
Yes, she lost the ball there in contact, by the way, and was tackled. And Kenya with their first foray showing their intent with ball in hand. A very good build-up there. I mean, play between Celestine, between Remor there and Janet War.
It is always quite easy for people to go around and fault the player for knocking on the ball, but look at after Irene gets the ball in there, the tackle coming in right after that was a telling tackle, because smashed the ball, knocked the elbows out, and great tackle there by Claire Nena, the outside center for Uganda. I mean, that's called a turnover.
Bind.
Turnover tackle, yes.
Set.
Well said, Hillary. The turnover tackle there. And the Kenyans being massacred in the scrum. I thought they're being bullied at the set piece. There, the Ugandan forwards, the tight five there of Warren Senkuma, Fortunate, Irankunda, Christian Kizito, Fiona Nalubwama, and Evelyn Aweku are really very potent and very strong.
Crouch.
And
Bind.
Rosenberg,
Set.
Kanyunzi will fit this ball into the scrum.
The Ugandans have barely made any mistake up in the forwards, other than maybe two offside calls on the racks, but they've been extremely dominant and just showing their
brought in by Uganda
up forwards. And this is actually just shaping up to be a battle royale.
Yes, shaping up to be a very close battle. The Ugandans can sense that they have more dominance up front and in the forward, so they'll definitely try and play up front. The Kenyans look to be a little bit overwhelmed up front, and they have to do something about it. But look very dangerous with ball in hand with Irina Tieno and Celestine Masinde and Doreen Remor in the backs. Still 0-0. We've played 12 minutes of the Elgon Cup women's category between the Lionesses and the Cranes. Kenya with a massive 18-point advantage, and here comes Mary Otieno. Gains like 5-6 meters there. Mary Musieka,
Uganda release.
Sucked in there. Means someone will have to act as a scrum half.
The Ugandans just fighting for each and every scrape ball.
Back foot, Uganda, back foot.
And definitely getting the Kenyans to earn their keep on the pitch at the moment. Doreen Moore gets the ball out to Salim Masinde. She looks like she had a clear path. Great tackling there, great alignment with Ugandan defense. They actually had a second layer of defense shutting through. So Celestine broke the first one. Second line came out through the flankers. Irene Otieno sees nowhere to move through. Desperate pick up. Well picked up by Rachel Kakaire.
Teammates behind you. The teammates behind you.
Kakaire just waiting for her players to come back. And it'll be a line-out call for Kenya.
Line-out Kenya.
Near the 10-yard line.
Not a very good kick from the Ugandans, but stems off the pressure from the Kenyans, who look very dangerous once again with ball in hand. There's Celestine Masinde there breaking the first line of defense, but well tackled by the Ugandan defense. And Rosilda Kamanga now will feed this ball into the line-out. Kenya need good quality line-out ball. Stolen by the Ugandans. And Kamanga was too slow.
Not in Uganda.
The Ugandans back foot. Quicker. Ellen Kizamba there acting as a...
Release, Kenya, roll away.
The Ugandans now.
Back foot.
Building a steam.
Advantage. 12 offside.
What can they do here? They've got the numbers out there.
Release 14.
Rock. Just quickly
back foot.
Wings, picking a
advantage over.
Defense tackle there. Uganda
going back.
A bit more flamboyant.
Go low.
Now.
Rock.
Supposed to be a conservative initial passing within the first 5 minutes of the game.
Rock!
The Twister team decides to get back into the forwards, cutting back in. Ball proper to Harriet Kayonjo. Kayonjo is looking for runners. No one seems to be coming to her head. Philadelphia 11 makes a very, very hard tackle.
Stand your feet, Kenya!
The Gunners back into the territory. They don't seem to be able to break
Back foot,
the game
Kenya,
line
back foot.
when they're flinging the ball up into the backs. A team gets a ball. Kayonjo. Ball goes to Fiona Nalubwama. Our team gets a ball back again. She has been very dynamic in the opening stages. Celestine Masinde steals a ball.
Use the gates.
The Kenyans just need to go around and consolidate their contact faces. They have numbers there, but none of the fellows look like they really want to go in and keep the ball. Nice shimmy there by Stacey Award. Stacey Award gets 20 meters, pops the ball somehow to Millicent Opala, and Millicent Opala does what she's expected to do, scores down. Great try there by Millicent Opala. That was a very cheeky pass.
Very cheeky pass, and
I didn't see that coming.
I think for once the game stopped there, by the way, because a very interesting try from Kenya, and Kenya with the opening score of this game.
I think everyone stopped expecting the referee to perhaps call for a forward pass or something.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Millicent Opala knew that she was within her realms of getting that ball, went on ahead, and interesting try there by Kenya.
Yes.
Great talk by Stacey Award.
Stacey Award, yes. Once again, as you always taught in rugby, play to the referee's whistle. If the referee hasn't blown it, just go and score the try. And Millicent Opala with the opening try of the game, making even life more difficult for the Ugandans here. Because on aggregate, it will push the score to 38-18. So Kenya with the opening try of this game, of the women's game. 16 minutes gone here at the RFUEA ground.
Very solid defending by Uganda. Manage to
Irina
just hold them
Tieno
off
missing
and
the
keep them on a
conversion.
0-0 scoreline for 15 minutes before Millicent Opala and Stacey Award ganged up to open up the scores in the second leg of the women's edition of the Elgon Cup. So conversion by Irina Tieno not successful. Scores remain at 5 points to 0 advantage for Kenya.
Yeah, now the Ugandans now will have to really
When you're
get
ready,
into
Uganda.
this game one way or another, because as it is, it's a 23-point deficit. It's a 20-point deficit for them.
It's okay.
Stacey Award not as confident and comfortable with that particular kickoff.
Knocked on. Touched by a player ahead of you. That's an offside.
Advantage for Uganda for a knock on in there. No, referee decides that there was a player who was ahead of Stacey who picked the ball, so that will be a penalty.
It will be a penalty for the Ugandans.
Kristen Kizito
Rock! Back foot!
manages to pummel all the
Advantage.
way in. And Uganda looking resurgent now. Great ball carried by even
Rock!
Uganda
Back
showing
foot
a
here.
little bit more intent right now. They look like they want to keep abreast of the scoreline. Forget the scoreline in Kampala.
H,
last
let's
week.
go
This
low,
looks like
H,
it will be a
Kenya.
more closer affair.
Back foot.
The Uganda's just not showing
For
any
relief.
level of fear.
Advantage!
You'd actually be almost tempted to believe that they have the home ground
Yeah,
advantage.
they're taking the ball into contact, and that was a long pass there from Harriet Kayonjo. Can they get a try here?
Sorry? Huh?
Is there a try there?
Referee
Uganda.
Asha Nakitio scores Uganda's try. So Uganda not looking like they're going to let the Kenyans run away with this one.
Yes, absolutely. They're buttering them in the forwards, and Kenya playing second fiddle to the Ugandans in the forward exchanges. The Ugandans looking rock solid, and the Ugandans have leveled matters barely a minute after Kenya scoring. So it is 5-5 here at the RFUEA grounds, Elgon Cup women's category.
Of course, Kristen Kizito, who started the entire pummeling of the Kenyan defense line, has actually played, interestingly, as a winger, as a center, and just don't actually think that her frame does not allow to move on through. And you can see that high experience, even at Titan, just goes to show the level of experience that she's had in the game. Yes. And definitely the one carrying up the entire team. So 5 points to both teams, 17 minutes played. This looks like it'll be a very interesting one, William.
Yes, the Ugandans are very back much into this game. They are playing with a lot of confidence up front, playing very well structured rugby here. taking the ball into contact, getting very clean ball at the rack. And we have our match on our hands here at the RFUEA ground in Nairobi. Kenya 5, Uganda 5, 19.5 minutes gone of the Elgon Cup women's category.
Kenyan captain Doreen Remor kicking off. Christine Kizito with the ball again, takes 1, 2, 3 defenders out. She is quite a handful.
8, release. Back foot.
Uganda's looking at returning the ball up in the forwards again. Great ball carrier by Evelyn Nayeku, Christine Kiziko, Beatrice team really causing a lot of damage to the Kenyans currently. Referee has his hand up for advantage. Kenyan defense just perhaps got a bit lazy out. The crowd, the Uganda partisan crowd is actually asking Kenya to be pushed up to Christine Kizito. They love what she does. They believe that they have what it takes to perhaps just gain revenge on what happened last weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. They seem to have started like a house on fire, and the Ugandans, like I said earlier, playing very well structured rugby, taking the ball into contact. They know they have the size advantage up front, and they're battering the Kenyans at the contact area and winning a lot of ball.
The next person who does
from the racking area.
Wait.
Match referee Constant Cup just informing the Kenyan captain Doreen Remor of his concerns there. Penalty to Uganda.
Line out.
Better kick this time around by Harriet Kayonjo. Uganda have a line out near the Kenya 22-meter line.
Straight lines, Kenya here. Give Kenya. On the mark. 10 and hold. 10. Kenya 10.
Kenya and Uganda, and I mean the Kenya line out there, trying to disrupt this ball, and the Ugandans once again a clean take there, and a rolling maul in progress here. Rolling maul.
Watch your offside. Watch your offside.
They're rolling this ball quite
one side.
Well.
Okay, she came through. It's okay.
I think now the Kenyans can do a sigh of huge relief here.
Ball is on deck. Release. Back foot.
They're gaining almost close to 10-15 meters. Actually a turnover ball. And a good kick there from Doreen Remor.
Solid right there by Uganda, but they should have just consolidated the ball after the ball was split from the line out. They were to actually rip it off from the hands of the person who jumped up, and that's what gave the Kenyan defense a chance to just smuggle it because they had great numbers in there, strength, but the ball was not really consolidated.
Kenya ball.
Just gifting the ball away there.
Yeah, absolutely. They should have consolidated and just probably moved it a few more meters, but
straight lines
in the ball and stemming off the
Uganda 10
from the Ugandans. Rosilla Kamanga with the line out. Good take from the Kenyans, and the referee says,
what do you want?
Wasn't
down
very
there,
clean,
Uganda.
by the way, wasn't very straight. So it's going to be a Ugandan scrum. Very promising attacking position for Kenya.
Seconds.
The line-out seems to be malfunctioning at the moment as we speak.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
And,
9, please.
Kanyunzi will feed this ball scrum, and once again the Ugandan scrum looking very strong.
Rock.
Back
foot, Kenya, back foot.
Ball from the pick from the back of the scrum. Ugandans getting the ball, Christine Kizito. There she is again. This time the Kenyans aware of the threat that she has, bringing 4 fellows. That might be a bit dangerous for the Kenyans because they might expose themselves out in the open. I mean, if they actually
Vantage
too
12
many players
offside.
because Christine Kizito scores, they may lose out the fact that there is a very nippy Aisha Nakitio out in the wing, who's well complemented on the opposite wing by Emanuela Roma.
Number 12 offside.
Kenya penalized by referee Constant Cup.
Number 12.
Penalized them there. So Uganda on the attack again. Here comes Christine Kizito.
8, release. Back foot.
And the Ugandans on the ascendancy.
Our team has got numbers out. There's Kizito. Kizito likes to kick this time around. Arino Teno struggling to get back, and Kizito gets a perfect line out near the 5-yard line. How about that?
From a prop.
Very
kicking that ball and
Christine
finding
Kizito.
touch. And it's going to be a 5-meter line out from the
line.
Kenya really under the cosh here, under the pressure from the Ugandans, who seem to know what they want. They need to bridge that 18-point gap and win this game.
It's okay.
And Kenya
10.
will have to get this line out straight or right, or they will be under a bit of pressure.
Okay.
Good line out take there from Kenya.
Stay on side. Uganda, move on side.
And they're also now
The advantage.
rolling maul.
Side entry.
Musieka flings it out. And Kenyans running across when they should be running straight.
Philadelphia Orlando just pulling in about 4 Ugandan defenders in there. Does very well to retain the ball possession. Ball being spread. Irene Ochena's got number. Celestin Masinde.
Advantage over.
Looks like she can be able to be the first defender. Manages to only run all the way out. Quite disappointing for somebody who looked quite promising.
Uganda ball.
You could read her mind. She knew what she was doing, but I just think that switch didn't work out. Just didn't work out.
I think you can almost forgive the Kenyan Lionesses team for perhaps having some momentary lapses in judgment. I think Christine Kizito has pummeled them over and over again, and perhaps just a bit of adrenaline moving on through and
hold Kenya.
Christine Kizito off the pitch is a very
nice
lady.
Uganda.
Yeah. I mean, have interacted with her a couple of times, and I mean, just for all the viewers joining us all over Africa, she's not as rough in real life as she's actually on the rugby pitch. She's a perfect lady. And at this moment in time, the toss for the Ugandan Lady Cranes team. There she is again, as we talked about her.
She's on the wing, by the way.
Rock!
She's actually playing
as back foot.
as a winger. And Uganda there, showing their glimpses.
It's okay, she had her hands on the ball, it's okay. First person in. Okay, move on side, Uganda. Play on. Back foot here.
Musieka. Kenya managed to steal that ball, by the way.
Play on.
Good hands there.
Rock! Back foot, Uganda.
Let's perhaps
advantage.
Need to commit before they make the pass. The straight up passes are just allowing the Ugandan defense to shuffle and smash each and every oncoming offensive player. Great work there by Dokas Ocholi.
New advantage offside.
Drives another 5 meters. Looking good so far for the Kenyans. Wayward pass. Referee did actually have some advantage play for Kenyans. So lucky there for the Kenyans. They were almost losing that ball.
Yes, they were losing that ball, by the way. And as you're saying, they need to
commit
one defender before you actually touch the ball. It's all very ordinary and predictable when you just pass the ball. And the Ugandans are well able to read that. Good kick there from Dorin Remor. .27.5 minutes gone here at the RFUEA ground. It's Elgon Cup match day here. Kenya 5, Uganda 5. Remember, Kenya won the first leg by 33 points to 15 in Kampala last week. But the Ugandans have come out like a house on fire. Playing very well structured rugby. Now it's going to be a Kenya line out. Rose Hill Kamanga. Good line out, but once again,
Uganda.
Poor line out
Closing
from
the gap by Kenya.
Advantage over jumpers.
Ensuring that they shrunk it off by a team who would be brought to
roll away.
An immediate hold.
Back foot.
Kizito.
Advantage offside.
Evelyn Aweku. They have basically been
to the back foot. What's the offside?
The Uganda still employing the use of their very formidable forwards. Ball moved on to Prosi. Prosi Nakakande.
No advantage
gain from here. Does not believe that the Kenyans did that.
But once again, Christian
for Uganda.
Christian Kizito receiving the ball from a standing position. Very easy to tackle, by the way, there. And not really gaining so much meters with that ball. Kenya 5, Uganda 5. It's Elgon Cup match day here at the RFUEA grounds. Kenya, of course, won the first leg, but under lots of pressure from the Ugandans have been the much better side in this opening half an hour of the game.
Gallant display so far by the Lady Cranes, definitely holding their own, not being overrun.
Uganda 2 straight lines.
And I believe in their minds there's absolutely no indication that there was a 36-18 scoreline last weekend, and they're definitely showing that they're up to the task, and perhaps showing the Kenya Lionesses that they probably just had them on an off day last week.
Looks like that to me, by the way.
Play on.
And Uganda again on the attack.
This is a team. She's been left, right, and center.
Okay, no hands, no hands.
To just Pamela way
Kenya.
up in the forwards. This time joining the attack from the
Play,
center
use
position. Kizito this time employing to spread the ball out. They're looking for Nakitio. They're looking for Aisha Nakitio, the very nippy runner. You can see Nakitio there, just popping up and getting the ball. And Nakitio, great weighted kick there.
Rock.
Great weighted kick here. I mean, and very good awareness and speed.
Stick to your feet, no hands.
To actually get there and get that kick. And
use it.
Kenya on the attack once again. Kenya on the receiving end. The Ugandans playing with a lot of confidence and flair.
Advantage.
And
Number
looking
7.
very dangerous with ball in hand.
The delays from the Ugandan Rucks just giving the Kenyan defense chance to go around and consolidate themselves. They're just managing to break them apart with all these fast runners left, right, and center. But
Number 1 release.
the line speed from the base
Back
of
foot.
the breakdowns has been quite a concern.
Advantage
And
over.
they may need to improve that in the second half if they really want to go around and make this a quite a game. Doreen
Roll
Remote
away.
just shrugged
Back
off
foot,
like
Kenya.
a fly there by Christine Kizito. She's holding no prisoners.
Yes. Uganda on the 22-meter trial on the 22
Hands off, release Kenya.
For the Kenyans, and it's
Back
Uganda
foot.
who on the attack, looking ever so dangerous here. Helen Gizamba flings it out wide. Aisha Nakitio.
Once you're down, you
And,
let go of the ball.
Kenya get a respite there. They survive. And she
Play on,
was-
play on.
looked to me like Irene Atieno who kicks out the ball, but nobody chasing on the Kenyan side. Nobody chasing, and Uganda clear the line, so it's been charged down
Touchdown, play on.
by the Kenyans.
Rock. It's okay,
Can
play
Kenya
on.
turn over this ball? Musieka.
8 Uganda,
They'll
roll away.
need a replacement scrum after
You're down. Stay on your feet.
or an emergency scrum up to retrieve this ball.
Hey, back foot 5.
And
Advantage.
so
5.
it's going to be
Offside. 5 Uganda.
an infringement there.
Penalty called by referee Constant Cup there for offside by the Ugandans.
10,
Will they go
10,
for the
10,
point,
10,
or
10.
will they just scratch this ball
10.
and go for the try?
10 with the assistants.
When the concerns
Well,
have
they've
look
tried
at
to
the
go for the
general,
points.
the general Kenyan Lionesses team is that I think they need the 3 points. It's been a while since they were on this side of the pitch, and it would be worth their while if they came off with something, because the Ugandan defense has been absolutely imperious.
Yes, been very rock solid. Apart from that momentary lapse that we saw that Kenya scoring a try, the better part of this game, in this first half, the Ugandans have held firm in defense. 32 minutes gone here. Irene Atieno with a penalty to give Kenya the lead again, if it does go through. She kicked a couple of conversions last week in Kampala. Can she get it? Oh, it's missed.
Irene Atieno
Wide kick.
successful with her 2 kicks.
32.
This is something that the coach should be trying to remedy. I'd like to believe they have a second kicker in there, because Irene
Behind the
Atieno's
kicker.
second kick of the match still not here to get anything in between the sticks.
Yeah, Uganda here will take the 22-meter dropout. And they have looked absolutely formidable so far. Good take there. Oh, brilliant pass there. Fila Orlando. Good combination there from
Release
Janet
Uganda.
Owens.
Kizito just pummeling Philadelphia
Play on.
Orlando there. When it's a case of running into a brick wall.
Rock. Back foot, back foot.
Kenya Lionesses looking like they're trying to get a lot more open play.
Okay, roll away, Uganda.
Much faster,
Back
definitely.
foot, Uganda.
On the racks. Changing the contact point there. Philadelphia Orlando popping the ball out to Janet.
Advantage.
Doreen Remor almost getting a
For
referee. Does
Ugandan hand, then
not
knocked on by Kenya's
agree with that, and there's a knock on there. Sorry,
Well-
a forward pass. Knock on and a forward by the Kenyans there. Was a
Once
ball travel
again,
forward.
as you alluding a few minutes ago, Kenyans have to commit the first man. It's all looking very predictable. They're just passing out the ball. They're not committing any of the Ugandan defense to get sucked in, then probably try and play an overlap. It's all looking very
Crouch.
cozy for the Ugandans when you play that kind of way. But
Bind.
it's going to be a Kenyan
Set.
scrum feed here. Mary Musieka.
Not a great ball out, but Doreen Ramon managed to get it. Philadelphia loops the ball to Doreen. Ball spread on her to Irene Atieno. This looks good for the Kenyans. Loop it back to Celestine. They get it out to the Janet Okello speed merchant.
Rock!
Uganda is very, very aware of
back foot, Uganda. Back foot.
Has not giving Janet any space to maneuver on.
But once again, Kenya are going backwards. It's not
Back
very
foot.
good front football. I mean, they're just not taking
Go
the
low
ball
for the tackles.
the way a
Back foot.
back should receive it. It's all going backwards, and they're running laterally. They're running across. Good play there from Kenya.
Great work
Once
by
it's over.
Number 7, pumping up the legs. Stacy over this time,
Rock.
smash into the ground. Huh?
That's okay, chip it out. Release, Uganda. Okay, use it, Kenya, use it.
Much slower rock this time around, goes out to Captain Doreen Remor. Irene Otieno joins in the line from the fullback. Celestine has the ball, looks it over for Philadelphia Orlando. Philadelphia has the strength, has the power. Second try. Philadelphia Orlando will try their second try. Kenya 10, Uganda 5.
Excellent try there from Janet O'War. From Philadelphia Orlando, I beg your pardon. Philadelphia Orlando with a try. Well-crafted try there, by the way. And just as we were saying, Hillary, they need to commit the man first, and then you pass the ball, and that is what they've just done. And they have scored their second try of the game.
I think the last 2 or 3 times Philadelphia has tried using that channel, there's been a very, very solid presence of Christine Kizito.
15.
She must have actually been smiling like a Cheshire cat when she realized that Christine Kizito was not there to execute her.
Oh yes, Kenya leading by 12 points, by 10 points to 5, with the conversion to come from Irene Otieno.
Behind the try line. Try line.
She missed a similar kick a couple of 10-15 minutes ago when Kenya scored the first try. No, doesn't get it, by the way. So it's 10-5 with 4 minutes to the end of the first half. 4 minutes to the end of the first half. Kenya leading by 10 points to 5.
Woeful kicking there by Irene Otieno. I think the technical bench has to go and make a quick call as to whether they will go around and delegate that responsibility to preferred kicker captain.
When you're ready, Uganda.
Whether Irene Otieno will be given yet another chance for a fourth time to try and slot in something between the sticks.
Yes, sir. So on aggregate, as it stands, it's Kenya 43, Uganda 20. "37 minutes played here in the Elgon Cup.
What do you want?
Match day.
Go,
It's the Kenya women leading Uganda by 10 points to 5. In case you're just joining us, Kenya under 19 beat Uganda 27 points to 12 to win the under 19 category.
Come Kenya.
Much tighter and closer affair as compared to the scores that we recorded in Kampala last weekend. You know, the Lady Cranes definitely showing some level of grit.
Second rows.
I think the Kenyan Lionesses perhaps maybe a bit guilty
Crouch.
of just underestimating the opponent.
Bind.
Definitely have strolled
Set.
onto the park and showing each and every ability of the great rugby players are there.
Seven release. Back foot, Uganda, back foot. Use it.
Ugandans this time electing not to go around and contest any of the Kenyan racks. Electing to
10
actually shuffle
Uganda.
outside and try and
Rock, no hands.
squash
Back foot,
each and
Uganda, back
every
foot.
Kenyan backline attempt. Stacey Orr gets a ball. Great ball out to Mary Otieno. Shrugs over team. Otieno has a clear path away. Pass it to Awar. Awar has been everywhere. Great work there by the two back rows, combining very well to just get the Kenyans deep into the Ghana territory. There's got numbers out in there. Doreen Remora has got numbers on her right shoulder. Celestine Masinde gives the ball to Irene Otieno. Irene Otieno dummies once, dummies twice, steps in.
Brilliant play.
The fullback Otieno gets stopped, and the captain Doreen Remora picks the ball back, and Kenya scored their second try in as many minutes. The fluidity is coming back in.
Brilliant play there, Hillary Taylor, by the way. Doreen Remor, good play there from Janet Otieno. And Doreen Remor crossing the line, some good fluidity, some good hands. And Kenya extending their lead now to 15-5.
The support play there, extremely beautiful and I love and joy to watch.
Because Atina looked like she was going to score the try, but she just passed on the ball to Doreen Remo to score the third try for Kenya. And can Irene Otieno score her first conversion of the day?
They've changed the kicker, and I think it's Janet Owor who's stepping up to the stick. I think Irene Otieno has been told to concentrate on fielding the ball in there and doing the tackles at the back. Janet Owor, much more successful with her first kick. So the first conversion in for Kenya, 17 points to 5. The referee also blows for the halftime whistle. And Kenya get into a commanding 17-5 lead. A bit unfortunate, does not really show the whole story of the first half.
ATP Uncovered. Get unrivaled behind-the-scenes access to the most exciting tennis players on earth in full HD. Find out what happens off the court with player profiles and tournament stories. Follow the ATP Tour and Grand Slam finals with in-depth features and tactical analysis. Become a tennis insider with ATP Uncovered. New episodes each Wednesday on Zuku Sports.
FIFA Football Mundial, the weekly show that travels the globe to bring you the stars of today, the talents of tomorrow, and the heroes of the past. Plus news and in-depth reports from all the major competitions. FIFA Football Mundial, the football show that knows no boundaries. New episodes in full HD, Wednesdays on Zuku Sports.
Coach of the Kenya Lionesses, they're leading 17-5 at halftime. Enos, your take on the first half very quickly.
We allow Ugandan to attack us. We missed a lot of tackles. And at some point we didn't have ball possession, but of course we had to settle down in the game. That's how we are leading.
Thank you very much, Enos, and look forward to a better second half.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, welcome back to the second half of the Elgon Cup game between Kenya and Uganda. Remember,
Behind the kicker.
Remember, Kenya leading by 17 points to 5 after a very even first half, with the Ugandans having the edge in terms of possession, but Kenya having utilized the try-scoring opportunities to lead in this game. Okay. Here comes Rachel Odhiambo. In comes Stacey Owor.
Uganda.
Doreen Remor now with a massive kick down this side of the half. And the referee says that the Ugandans were offside, so play will go back to that. We'll go back to the Kenyan half. If you're just joining us, this is the second half of the Elgon Cup match between Kenya and Uganda. Kenya leading by 17 points to 5, leading by 50 points to 20, meaning the Ugandans have to score 31 points in the second half to win this game. Kenya have just taken the chances very well in the first half. The Ugandans have played with a little bit of structure and have the bigger, stronger forwards, but Kenya have just utilized the chances very well to lead by 3 tries to 1.
Mark is here. Straight lines here. Uganda on my right.
Rosina Kamanga to feed the ball into the line out.
Hold it. Okay, 10.
Kenya had a problem with the line out in the first half. A couple of throws which were pitched by the Ugandans.
10.
And the referee is telling the Ugandans to sort this thing out. They're not 10 meters.
Okay.
And now the play can go on.
When you're ready.
Just one change in from Kenya from the team that played in the first half. Lavento Gutu gets in for Dokas Ocholi. So just one change done there for Kenya. Uganda still very keen on retaining
Uganda,
the same working combination that they had in the first half.
After the ball is released.
We did see Chris
Now,
Kizito
let's have another line out without any of that. Ball didn't go straight either.
She's back up and running. And you could see her, they're just smiling with the referee. Rosilde Kamanga set to push the ball in for Kenya on the line out. Ball not straight, and this is not really the first time that Kamanga has done that.
Yeah, it's been a problem with the line out for the Kenya team in the first half. And it's one area they really have to improve on. Going forward, of course, after this game, and maybe the games to come, in the years to come, I think they'll have to really improve on that.
Seconds.
The line-out is an attacking option for any team.
Set.
Or a defending option for any team. So it's an area which we'll have to improve. And the Ugandans win that scrum feed, and Beatrice team had a dominant first half for the Ugandan side.
Okay, brought in Uganda.
And Kenya tackling.
Back foot Kenya.
Christine Kizito
with the kick.
Looks like probably ran out of bit to steam. Decided to kick the ball. Gifted on an extra bounce by Arino Cheno, not being able to judge the bounce of the ball. Kicks the ball back to Uganda. Well fielded there by Prosi Nakakunda.
The Ugandans, Elgon missing her tackle. The Ugandans returning back with interest.
A team with the ball this time. Not too successful struggling, but still retains the ball possession. Ugandans having much faster rucks. Isolated Aisha Nakito out there. That would have been disastrous for Uganda because she already lost the ball, and you could see the entire Kenyan backline just shadowing in on her.
Shadowing on her, by the way, yes.
That would have been quite disastrous for them.
Would have been very disastrous for her. But the referee saves them from any further embarrassment. Mary Musieka to feed this ball into the scrum. There was a forward pass there from the Ugandans.
Arina Tenyo has already joined the attack line, so there's absolutely no one back in the fullback position for Kenya. Looks like they're throwing everyone into this particular attack. Arina Tenyo picks the ball. Does not have any particular person supporting in, an easy pickup by Beatrice Atimu just turns the ball over Kenya. Turned over again by Mary Otieno. It's 2 turnovers in a span of about 10 seconds there. That's a new person on the pitch, Lavento Gutu. Maintain the ball for Kenya. Great work there by Rachel Lathiambo.
No hands on the
Kenya's
ball.
looking a little bit more assured with ball in hand and taking the ball into contact. Musieka finds Remor.
Remor saw the Ugandans rushing up and decided to take the gap herself. Very well done. Great tackle coming in there from Rachel Kakaire. Referee has stopped the play. And I think there'll be more than words of wisdom being given to Rachel Kakaire for a high tackle. Referee didn't seem to think it was dangerous. So it'll only be a penalty, no card in there. Could see how high she went and smashed Doreen Remor down. I mean, that was the only person that Doreen needed to beat to move on through. You could see the Ugandan entire defense rushing up, and Doreen had the presence of mind just to place the dummy and run on in.
Okay, 9 roll away.
She had actually been in the line break very well. She had actually gotten a very good line break during the but it's Kenya who on the attack again, on the ascendancy.
Back foot.
Remor again.
Referee puts his hand up for an offside infringement. Irene Otieno has the ball. Looks like an early tackle, but I'm not too certain whether the advantage, the advantage was clearly not totally exhausted. The referee calls back up to the penalty point. Doreen Remor very keen to restart the kick.
10, back 10. Back 10. Advantage not 10.
Try scorer Millicent Opala popping the ball out there to Stacey Ward. Great work being shown in there by Dokas.
Release Uganda, roll away.
Sorry, I beg your pardon. That is Emilia Chieng.
And Kenya just almost smelling the try line here. By the way, they're not too far from the Ugandan try line.
Irene Otieno with the ball. Celestine Martinez has it. She's got Philadelphia Orlando. Does she need to use her extra man? Shrugs one, shrugs second. Still retains the ball somehow. Irene Otieno has it now. 2 yards from the scrum.
Advantage.
Ball pops on our Ugandans. The Ugandan lady cranes pick the ball up. The referee plays the advantage on to their behest. Referee doesn't seem to think that they'll be able to benefit.
Well, Kenya have butchered a try scoring opportunity there, by the way. I thought she held onto the ball for too long. Should have released that ball much earlier, and probably Kenya would have scored a 4th try.
No, I think Karin wasn't quite certain or really wasn't aware about the shadowing defense that came and thundered her, spilling the ball off. They call it having side mirrors. I don't think she had trained hers quite well to understand everything that was near her. She got really smashed there.
Yes, absolutely. So it's going to be a Ugandan scrum here.
Bind.
Is it a Ugandan scrum or
Set.
a Kenyan scrum? Should be
okay. 9.
Ugandan scrum, yes. Rosenberg Kanyunzi. The referee says it'll be redone again.
Took the ball backwards.
It's a 5-meter scrum.
Mark here. Okay.
As my co-commentator said, Lavendo Gutu. It's going to be a scrum feed here. For Uganda.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Irene Zige warming up on the Ugandan side. Uganda, remember, need to win by 30 points, and it's a penalty for Kenya. The referee has said no, not from that mark. It has to be taken again. Kenyans are too eager. They just need to be patient here. It's Kenya on the attack. That's Mary
Uganda
Otieno.
release.
Mary
Back foot
Otieno.
Uganda.
Kenyans are smelling blood
Okay, the ball was out.
But very messy from Kenya there. I thought they were too eager, too quick. They just to be a little bit patient. But still,
the ball had not formed. It's okay where she is. Use it, Uganda. 6 Kenya, 6 Kenya.
Almost 5 meters from the Ugandan try line.
Use it.
It looks like a mall is forming, but it's the Ugandans who seem to be having the ball here. Or is it the Kenyans? Oh, Doreen Remor misses it.
Celestine Masinde has the ball, pops it over Philadelphia Orlando. She had arms outstretched in a very dangerous posture. When you get tackled and your hands are up in the air, you are likely to break some of your ribs. Manages to get away unscathed.
Release, Kenya! Took yourself to the ground, you must release.
Kenya penalized there. Not releasing the ball, holding on to the ball in the ground, and Uganda can survive that Kenyan incursion.
Well, 49. The referee, he was in a position to clearly see that.
Yes.
And I mean, from the audio, could hear the instructions he was giving both sides, and no one was questioning that call.
Okay, don't touch
49 minutes played here in the Elgon Cup. It's Kenya 17, Uganda 5. What can the Ugandans offer? They need some points in the bag.
Okay. Okay, more from 3 Kenya, watch offside.
Kizito in the second half. She probably just had a lot of
in Uganda, rock.
System.
Back foot, Kenya, back foot.
In the first half. This time, just preferring to go around and do the racking and the simple stuff. Not smashing for left, right, and center. I think that may have given the Kenyans a bit more confidence to try and just align their attack, and then are beginning to prove a thorn in the flesh of the Ugandan Lady Cranes team.
I don't see why the Ugandans have kicked the ball. They should have actually have maintained possession. And here comes Doreen Remor. It's a kick here. Doesn't find touch.
You're getting the ball quite well. Very well aware of the slow fellows on the side, electing to run on that side. She kicks the ball and she's got numbers off her right shoulder. Philadelphia Orlando needs to be aware of the oncoming defense. Does very well to retain the ball. And defense is converted into offense. Celestine Masinde has numbers coming on now. Kenya retain the possession. Mary Otieno retaining it, managing to pass the ball somehow. Well held by Rachel Adhiambo.
Very good counter-attack there from Phila Orlando.
Irene Otieno has numbers off, does not need to use them.
And it's going to be another
weak tackle coming in there by Emanuela Aroma. Emanuela Aroma will be guilty of letting Irene Otieno move on through. Great try there.
Brilliant try, and it all started, Hillary, with that counter-attack from Phila Orlando. All started from way back, and beautiful hands, some good hands there, and Kenya just widening the lead now to 22 points to 5. And the Ugandans now, I think this is surely game over for them.
This is definitely reminiscent of one of the better playing New Zealand sides, the Crusaders. About 10 years back, they'd be able to turn defense into offense in the split of a second. I mean, you could see Uganda, Aisha Nakito kick the ball back in there. Philadelphia Orlando picks it up on the 22-meter line. The interplay of passes between 7 players resulting in a try seconds later is just a marvel to watch.
It's a marvel to watch.
It's a testament of the great level of rugby that these teams are playing.
Exactly. And conversion is in by Janet Award. So Kenya 24. Kenya 24, Uganda 5. And on aggregates, Kenya are leading by 57 points to 20. This is turning out to be a one-way street in this game between Kenya and Uganda. 52 minutes played. Only a miracle can save the Ugandans now. They look crestfallen. The fans have gone quiet. And it's not really working for them in this game so far.
Much more solid display in the second half by the Kenya Lionesses, having a little bit more structure, having better clearances off the base of the rocks, and definitely just using the ball to their advantage. The level of support play has been quite immaculate, and the Ugandans just can't seem to be able to keep up with it.
And once again,
from the kickoff, they actually shoot themselves deeper in their feet.
Another mistake there from the Uganda. The ball didn't cross the 10-meter line, so it'll be a scrum to Kenya. 53 minutes gone. Kenya leading Uganda by 24 points to 5. A very sizable crowd here at the RFUEA grounds. Remember, if you're just joining us, Kenya leading 24 points to 5. Early in the day, the Kenya under-19 team beat the Ugandan counterparts 27 points to 12 to lead 37, to win it on aggregate 37-27. So already
now, 57 points to 20 is the total aggregate. William, do you really see a way back into this one?
I don't see it, by the way. That means the Ugandans have to score 5 tries.
It would have appeared sometime in the first half that there was a light at the end of the tunnel. The Ugandans looked forward to looking at that light. It looks like it turned out to be a steam locomotive.
Yes, absolutely, Hillary. It looks like a steam locomotive. They need to get points quickly if they're to harbor any hopes of winning this game. And we're talking about them scoring 6 tries. 6 tries to bridge the 30-point margin. 54 minutes gone. Even the Ugandan crowd, which was so boisterous in the first half, has actually gone quiet.
Rachel Kakaire just kicking up the penalty for Uganda. They have a very nice position to attack from. Line out right on the 22-meter line.
Okay, 10. 10, Kenya. If you're not here, 10. Okay, stay away. Advantage.
The Ugandans now with a rolling maul of their own. They're not too far away from the Kenyan try box.
No stepping. Okay. Onside.
Ugandans with a rolling maul here, and here comes Christian Kizito.
Okay, so you cannot be
Kenya penalized yet again there.
Line out or you're outside the line out. We had an offside player here. You have to remain 10 or inside the line out. You're not 10, you're not 10. Advantage.
The quality of the pass, very, very poor. Phila Orlando tracking her man, tracking her opponent there.
Still playing advantage.
Asha Nakitu trying to weave her magic.
Back foot, Kenya, back foot.
Still Uganda ball there.
Back foot.
In the Kenyan 22.
Hands off, roll away, 16, Kenya. Go back there for the penalty, not 10.
And referee Constant Cap will go for the early infringement on the other side.
Wait.
Uganda's enjoying a lot more possession in the last 4 minutes. Ball passed over to Christine Kizito there. Let's see what the referee has to say regarding the call.
Captain.
Aggregate is 57-20.
Please, when I give a penalty, I want you to watch the assistant referees so the team knows where they have to be 10. We're not going back 10, okay? And that is preventing the game from continuing. Okay? Okay? Wait.
Penalty still retained for Uganda, and the referee Constant Cup restarts the game.
Advantage knocked on.
Christian Kizito just holding her face. Looks like she probably had a loose flailing arm hitting her face. Uganda still retain the ball possession.
Advantage. Back foot, Uganda.
Kenya's managing to somehow steal that ball right in the middle of things, and ball kicked back to Rachel Kakere, who manages to feel it quite well. She's got numbers out. They'll be looking to get the ball to Aisha Nakitio. Twist and turn there by Brenda Kayiyi.
Release.
Caught by a marauding Kenyan defense in there. Nakitio goes into assist. Nakitio now playing at scrum half. Passes the ball out to Zige. Zige was just come on in. Zige showing her strength, pummeling right to the Kenya. Kenya has been literally utilized like a ragdoll. Route 1 approach looking like the preferred option by the Uganda. Brenda Kayiyi
has the ball.
This time opting to go around and inflict some more pain. Looking good so far. Beatrice's team getting the ball. The Ugandans are slowly just getting into the Kenyan territory.
They're slowly grinding their way.
7 faces and about 12 meters gain so far. They don't look like they're relenting anytime soon. Scrum of Kayonjo taking the ball back into the thick of things. Uganda still retain the possession.
New advantage offside.
Rosa Kamunyunzi getting the ball out. They've got numbers, great hands in there. Good tackling by the Kenyan defense. The referee playing advantage there for Uganda. You can see his hand coming up for advantage. Ugandans still retain the position. Christine Kizo gets the ball, but the referee does not believe that would have amounted to anything. Calls a whistle, blows a whistle for a penalty. Great work there by the Ugandans.
Great work by the Ugandans, but still that they're grinding it out. They're grinding it out, but there is not good forward ball coming from them. Here comes
advantage not 10, number 8.
Christine Kizito. Uganda on the attack once again, and they've got numbers outside. Can they get a try here? Can they get a try? No, she's tackled well there. Aisha Nakitio.
Okay.
Does well to stay in the field of play. Did not manage to get dragged all the way out. Great work there by Aisha Nakitio.
And the ball has been stolen by the Kenyan. And Doreen Remor flings it out, by the way. It's going to be a Uganda line out. Aisha Nakitio looked certain to score the try there for Uganda, but good covering defense by Kenya.
Wait.
If you're just joining us,
Uganda to straight line.
It's Kenya 24, Uganda 5. Elgon Cup match day here at the RFUEA ground. Good covering tackle there from Celestine Masinde.
What are you? Inside there. Okay, 10.
So it's going to be a Ugandan line out.
Leon.
They win their line out there.
Out here.
Well, the Ugandans just seem to have run out of options. I don't know what was the kick for there.
Wayward kicking there.
Very wayward
kicking. Not too certain what Rosenberg Kayuninzi was thinking about.
Uganda,
but perhaps a case of ideas just slowly just getting off the think tank and
okay, 10.
Getting it into a free-for-all.
So it's going to be a line out here for Kenya, and they've replaced the hooker. In comes Janet Midecha.
Going back, Leon. Rock!
The Ugandans counter-racking with so much venom there.
16, move on side. 16,
very poorly executed line out from Kenya. And they're going to pay the price there because the Ugandans are coming on attack.
Significant reduction in the error rate by the Ugandan Lady Cranes within the last 10 minutes. And they've literally come to the Kenyan territory and are showing each and every level of intent. I think they want to score.
Yeah, they want to score. They're looking very threatening. I mean, it's a maul here, but Kenya have actually won this ball.
Okay, helping. Back foot, Uganda.
Wow, very scrappy game this last 5 minutes.
Come here.
"61 minutes gone. It's Kenya still leading by 24 points to 5. Irene Atieno, they are tackled, and Kenya winning the ball there. Mary Atieno feeding it to Celestine Masinde, then Mary Musieka giving it to Doreen Remor, and Remor's kick was charged down. So it's going to be a scrum for the...
Set. 9, please.
For the Ugandans. Can the Ugandans score here? That pressure they've sustained here for the last couple of minutes should bring in a try, but the Kenyan defense holding firm, holding tall.
This is where the Kenyan Lionesses will have to show their true character.
Use it.
Being able to
Okay, release.
defend,
No hands on the ball. Get down.
Already 17 points adrift in this particular, 19 points adrift
Back foot,
in
Kenya,
this
back
particular
foot.
game. So
Use
far
it, Uganda.
giving as much to the Ugandans as they are receiving.
Yes.
Christian Kizito there, the back of the rack, getting the ball. Much more
Back foot,
slower.
Kenya.
Christian
Back
Kizito
foot.
does not gain any momentum and pushes it only about half a meter.
Leon.
Ayonzo electing to get the ball out wide. Uganda still retain the possession. Our team gets the ball in a spot of bother.
It's okay, first man
Uganda
release, Kenya.
just coming in time to ensure that they do not lose the ball.
Back foot, Kenya.
You can see they consolidate all their numbers onto the right side of the pitch. This is a bit dangerous because if there is a turnover, the Kenyans have more than enough personnel to be able to just run a coast-to-coast try.
Yeah, Kenyans would actually go out wide on the open side here, or on the blind side, I beg your pardon. And Uganda have actually camped in the Kenyan 22 for the last 10 minutes and haven't gotten any points. And that will be a worry for them.
Wait.
And they bring in the substitution here. Regina Atieno has come in. So has Mary Kioita has come in also, as I try and maybe get some fresh legs. So it's going to be a Kenyan line out here.
Okay.
Janet Widecha to feed this ball into the line out. Not very clumsy line out there from Kenya.
The center of line. What do you want? Let's go down here. Come down here. Move back, Kenya. Move back.
We are back.
63 minutes gone. Very scrappy passage of play here. Kenya versus Uganda. Kenya leading 24 points to 5. But a very scrappy passage of play here.
Crouch.
It's going to be a Uganda scrum.
Bind.
They're not too far away. They're almost 5 meters away from the Kenyan try box. And Rosenberg Kanyunzi will feed this ball. And Uganda using their superiority in the scrum to try and win this ball. Is it a try?
Extended arm.
Try good.
Okay.
Of course, the sustained pressure bears some fruition and breaches a team there with Uganda's second try.
Uganda's second try after sustained pressure there from the Ugandans. Going back to their strengths there. Very strong up front. So Uganda with their second try, 24 points to 10. You
can see right from the scrum there, Beatrice's team just keeping the ball well, picking it up, having absolutely no one to stop her. Goes on down cleanly for a try, is it? There it is.
Yes, there it is.
Try good by Beatrice's team.
Beatrice's team, 24 points to 10 with a conversion to come now. So the conversion wasn't good, so it's 24 points to 10. Remember, Kenya had an 18-point lead from the first leg. So it's 24 points to 10, Kenya leading here at the RFUEA ground.
10.
57-25. The aggregate score, 57-25 in favor of Kenya. If you're just joining us, it's Elgon Cup match day 2. Kenya leading 24 points to 10. Early in the day, the under-19 team beat Uganda by 27 points to 12. Coming up shortly, it's the big one, Kenya A versus Uganda.
Release! Rock! We're going to come out. Uganda brought it in. Scrum Uganda.
Scrum feed here for Uganda, who seem revitalized after that try by Beatrice's team, their 8th man. So it's going to be Rosenberg Kanyunzi to feed this ball into the scrum.
Bind. Set.
15 minutes to go to the end of this game. Kenya with a 14-point lead. Beatrice's team now here. What can the Ugandans do?
Kakaire gets a ball out wide and almost well done there. Okay. Manuela Roma, who has vanished from her initial forays within the first 5-10 minutes of the game, gets back into that, but great tackle coming there by the Kenyan Lionesses. Turnover ball there, and Celeste Masinde takes it in, and all of a sudden, the Ugandans have to go around and play defense. Mary Museka still using the shorter side, ball goes back off the bounce. Celeste Masinde gets the ball to Doreen Remor. They need to be able to commit the player and not just run the ball across.
Absolutely.
Woeful pass in there, woeful pass. Christian Kizito does enough to just ward off anything that would have actually been detrimental, if not dangerous, for the Lady Cranes.
Yes, very woeful pass in there once again. As we were saying earlier, commit the man first, commit the lady first before you actually pass the ball, and that should have given Kenya an advantage. But it hasn't proved to be.
The Kenya Lionesses have actually shown the ability to understand how fast the ball can move across on hands as opposed to running across. But the consistency on execution has been wanting in this game.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with you, Hilary. The consistency on execution, not the best. And once again, the Kenyan ball is stolen at the line out.
6 release.
Uganda on the attack.
Work. Back foot, Kenya. Kenya back foot.
Kenya Lionesses down to 14 men. Celeste Masinde out on a blood bin, just getting attended to. So Kenya currently defending with only 14 players on the pitch.
Foot, Kenya.
Zige looks like she's actually been given instructions to Pamelon, and she's picking up on the script from the half where the likes of her team and Kizito are hitting on.
Oh.
Nicely weighted kick goes down, and Irene Otena looks like she's trying to struggle to keep abreast on that. The new lady on the pitch is Mary Kyoita. She came on into the Nipi Aisha Nakicho. Definitely showing her pace right from the get-go.
The bounce of a rugby ball can deceive, and they are with the fullback Irene Atieno deceived by that bounce. But here comes Doreen Remor. Kenya with a 2-man overlap there.
Janet Akelo, this is one lady who's got pace to burn. Steps in, steps out. Surely they will not stop her.
This is going to be another
she
try.
Has a lot of pace to burn. The Ugandans have done well to keep out of the game so far, but the sooner that she gets the ball and realizes the space up front, she just shows the ability that she has. As the lady was telling you earlier that in certain can do 12 seconds in a 100-meter dash.
Brilliant try there, by the way, from Janet Akelo. And once again, the Ugandan defense got fast asleep. And Janet Akelo beating 3 defenders all the way to the try line. And not a chance there for Uganda. So 29 points to 10. And Janet Owori will take the conversion. 29 for Kenya, 10 for Uganda. We are left with 10 minutes to go to the end of the game, and sights and sounds of the RFUEA crowd. The ladies there in your picture, amazed by that pace of speed by Janet Akelo. Literally skinned the Ugandan defense all the way to the try line.
Somebody who's playing.
She's a marvel. She's a marvel to Janet Akelo. I remember each and every try she scored in the car service tournament in Machakos 2 months ago was
the time is running.
A gem in itself. Has the ability to be able to read the defense, knows what her ability is in as far as pace is concerned, knows how to commit the defenders, has the ability to shrug it off. She's, in my opinion, a well-rounded rugby player.
Absolutely, well-rounded rugby player of a talent that we have in this country. No, conversion wasn't good. So 10 minutes to go here. Kenya 29, Uganda 10. So Kenya showing their win in Uganda wasn't a fluke. They are almost approaching the 30.
Behind you.
They are on the 30-point mark with 10 minutes to go.
Mary Nakanyike, the redhead in your picture there, just gets in to the pitch of play. Looking a bit concerned.
Wait.
I would be if you were 19 points down. But of course, still enough time on the clock for them to get a little bit more of respect in the scoreline.
Yes, absolutely, Larry. A bit of respectability on the scoreline to make it, because as it stands, it's 62-25 on aggregate, 29-10. Remember, Kenya won the first leg by 33 points to 15, and here comes Doreen Remor with a big punt.
Christian Kizito lets the ball bounce. Second time, deep into the 22. That looked like it was pushed forward. Kizito holds the ball, does enough to just ward off the Kenyan defense. The Lionesses were moving up in swarms like bees. Ball goes to as far as Millicent Opala. She scored the first try of the match. Gets the ball in. The Kenyans are moving in, steaming up. Referee does not think that was legally done. Penalty call for Kenya. Mary Museka takes a quick ball out. Gets the ball out to Mary Otieno. Mary Otieno gives to Camille Leonor. Camille Leonor runs left, runs right. Gets caught down. No one to actually make the run. Still has the right to keep on the ball. Kenya still on the rampage. Museka sees numbers out. Otieno, Remour, Otieno Irene, Philadelphia Orlando.
Kenya smelling blood here, by the way. They are going for another try here.
Janet Akello not being given so much space like she did in her previous try.
Uganda, back foot.
Does all to retain the ball.
Use it. Back foot, Uganda. 16. Uganda, back foot.
Are penalized again.
Referee Constant Cup has actually been very, very
try line,
fair in this particular game, giving them the benefit of that, trying to place up on the calls, but you know, you can't really keep on talking onto the players over and over again. I mean, at times you just blow the whistle and call out the penalty.
Yes. So, Kenya on the attack again. 73 minutes played. We are remaining with less than 7 minutes to the end of this game. Kenya home and dry. Clementina Tiro there. Come on, the substitute. Here comes Mary Musieka again.
Tough. Advantage. Side entry.
The Ugandans again penalized. Is it the Kenyans who are penalized again? Is the Ugandans who are penalized?
Table, please.
6.5 minutes to go to the end of the game here. Kenya home and dry, leading by 29 points to 10. Uganda, after a very promising first half, just have looked a shadow of themselves.
This guy who's there is coaching. He's not a medical staff. He's supposed to be inside here, the Kenya coach. So please tell him to leave. He's not a medical staff. Only medical staff can be there. Get him out. I'll tell him to leave.
The referee seems to have spotted something.
Excuse me? The reason we've stopped the game is because of you. Yeah. You are not medical staff. You must stay within the technical area. No coaching on the sideline. Okay? Side entry.
And the Kenyan team playing it safe, going for the penalty.
I mean, having everyone in the team
Makizia
pointing towards the post tells you a story. They're tired, extremely for that matter. And they need to ensure that all the efforts of getting into that particular vantage point does not go to waste. So, wise call. You actually do see teams who have, you know, a very, very, very commanding and unassailable lead still elect to go for the line outs,
yes,
to try and just, you know, prove the point. But wise call in there. I'd always say, once you get into that particular angle, any points that you can pick up, beat 3, beat 5, pick them up, because at the end of the day, you need to go around and reward yourself for the hard work that you've done.
Absolutely, Hillary. Kenya already have this game in the bag. Can't see the Ugandans coming back into it.
At last, Irene Otieno manages kick it in.
Irene Otieno pushes the score to 32 points to 10. 32 points to 10. Kenya showing that victory last week against Uganda was not a fluke. A sizable crowd here at the RFUEA grounds watching the game here.
I mean, just looking at the crowd, Kenyans really are beautiful people. Beautiful culture, all out to enjoy the beautiful game of rugby.
Absolutely. And
okay, when you're ready,
5.5 minutes to go. Christian Kizito has been substituted.
Okay, hands off, rock! That's okay, ball was released.
That's a turnover ball there by the Ugandans. It's a turnover ball.
Hey, side entry, Kenya, Kenya. What's the entry?
It's a turnover ball there by the Ugandans. They're trying to do a rolling maul from here. But Kenya have stolen the ball again. Wow. Here comes Doreen Remor. Remor should have passed on the ball there, I think.
Remor definitely not possessing the pace that she had 7 years ago when she first turned out for the Lionesses team. But of course, the lack of pace has actually given another edge, and she's got,
back,
in my opinion, better vision now.
Back.
Here comes Celestine Masinde. Kenya now just toying with the Ugandans.
Advantage.
Playing with so much confidence and ball in hand.
Offer Ugandan hands, come
and
down.
There's going to be a knock on here. The referee says not yet. 4.5 minutes to go to the end of this game.
Coach Eno Secheno ringing more changes. From the touchline, you can see Lynette Mora being sent in. We'll just wait to get confirmation on who she will replace.
Crouch. Bind. Set. 9.
Here comes
Lynette Mora comes in for Celestine Masinde. And Camille Award. You never get to see that. Try good. This must be the try of the game.
Absolutely.
You never see a flanker picking the ball up from a scrum down and running 40 meters. Camille Award just did that. And you can see her teammates are ecstatic. They're just diving all over her. Absolutely deceptive pace, and you could see she actually shrugged it on. There was absolutely nothing that little tiny Mary Choita could do. Had the presence of mind to place the ball down, smash it on her face first, and that has to be the try of the game.
Absolutely, Larry. She just galloped there, held off her tacklers, and once again, the Ugandan defense in 6s and in 7s. None of them are able to actually run with her. And Kenya scoring another try here.
No, you must forgive me, William. I could go on and on about that try because, I mean, granted, that was a forward. That was some exceptional piece of play there by the flanker, Camille Award.
Yes. And the ability just to run and keep on and going on. And she had no support. It was just one lady against one person against 2 attackers, against 2 defenders. And the conversion is good. And that takes us to score to 39 points to 10. Kenya showing their win last week against Uganda wasn't really a fluke.
So normal service resumed, and for that strike, Camille Award gets a much-needed break. Surely you did not expect her to have yet another dash like that. And I think Coach Eno Secheno understands as well. But that was one of the greatest moments that she'll probably remember over and over again. Does well to shield the ball, does not lose it, grounds it, try time.
So the score on aggregate is 72 points to 25. Uganda well and truly buried in this game. And yet they had a very promising first half. Very structured play, very good ball going forward. But simply they've run out of steam.
The most telling thing when you see a team just losing out on earlier strides may have a bit to do with the conditioning. And I think that's something that they need to go around and consider, because you could see the Kenyans just having the same level of zest and energy that they had on minute 1.
Yes.
Right at minute 75.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Janet Akello also gets a much-deserved break. Looks like Coach Eno Secheno is looking at playing his entire bench. In comes Gentrix Mwaro for Janet Akello.
Rock!
1 minute remaining to the end of this game. Kenya 39, Uganda 10.
Roll it forward slightly. Scrum down.
There's a knock on there from the Ugandans. If you're just joining us, Kenya winning this game 39 points to 10. We're into the last minutes of play. Early in the day, Kenya under 19 beat Uganda under 19 27-12 to win the Elgon Cup under 19. And the women, Kenya women, the Kenya Lionesses, doing the country proud, winning here by 39 points to 10.
Stacey Award gets back into the number 8 position. Does well to keep the ball from the pick. Ball taken to Mary Otieno. Newbie Sheila Chagira gets the ball down onto the deck. The Ugandans not very keen on trying to get into that track, just finding on out. Doreen Mora's got numbers of Philadelphia Orlando. Possible to Irene Otieno. She runs it, commits well, and the new girl, Gentrix Moro, perhaps just not fully much aware. That doesn't seem to matter for anything. Final whistle goes, and Kenya emphatic winners over Uganda 39-10.
Well, what an emphatic result there for Kenya. The Kenya women outstanding today. The final aggregate score 72 points to 25. Kenya retain the Elgon Cup for another year running. A dominant display, particularly in the second half. The Ugandans seem to have had,
in terms of what next for Uganda,
first half, but they were trailing in the first half, and there was no way back for them. Fantastic all-round display from Kenya, by the way, and they retain the Elgon Cup. Coming next up in the next 20 minutes will be Kenya versus Uganda, Kenya A versus Uganda. Hats off to Kenya and commiserations to Uganda.
So, in the under-19 category, Kenya win the Elgon. In the women's category, Kenya win the Elgon. Next up is the main one, the men's decider. Kenya having a 7-point deficit, having lost 14 points to 10-20 in Kampala. This is a top bill match of the day, the one that actually allows anyone to walk with bragging rights.
Huh?
This has to be exciting. This will be an exciting game.
Absolutely. Because Kenya, of course, lost the first game 21-14. I think of this, the first two games we've seen in the under-19s and the women's, I think have been a bit one-sided towards the Kenya side, by the way. I think Kenya just had more puff.
I know,
but this one has a bit of an edge to it. Remember, Uganda have been relegated to 1C from 1B. A few years ago, they were in the 1A, which is the top tier of Kenyan rugby. Now they've been relegated, and they want to prove a point together that they are still very competitive in terms of rugby in this region.
Of course, right in your picture there, you can see some of the Kenya 15th players who were in the World Cup qualifiers in Madagascar a fortnight ago. Kenya electing to get the A team to play as opposed to their first team. And of course, chance for some of these lads to show that they can actually play for the senior team.
Speaking to Tito Duke on Thursday when naming the team, he said that they left 5 tries on the pitch in the game against Uganda last weekend in Kampala. 2 tries, two supposed tries were actually, they were held up on the Ugandan try line. And then in the closing stages of the match, they had a 2-man overlap, which they didn't exploit. And Kenya, with a lot to prove, I mean, they wouldn't want to let go of this Elgon Cup after winning it, I mean, just reclaiming it last year with that narrow win in Kampala. So the pressure definitely will be on Kenya.
On your picture there, a couple of Kenya rugby players who turn out for Nondis. And of course, everyone's waiting for the game at 4 p.m. The one that basically will be the bragging rights.
Standing for peace in this beautiful country of ours. That means starts now.
There will be a minute silence in honor of some victims who passed away within the past couple of weeks, some sporadic violence in the coastal part of Kenya. And of course, great testament to remembering what they stood for. May they rest in peace.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Up next. And now receiving the trophies. The 2014 Elgon Cup Ladies Champions.
Hii ni Aberdeen, Niseme Aberdeen, si ndio? Haya, okay. Haya. Simseme muchie.
Tunangojea Dorin sasa. Sasa Dorin tupe basi. Sawa. Haya. Sasa from chini.
Dorin angalia hapo. Ngoja.
Sawa. Magaini. Twende.
And there you have it. After 80 minutes of rugby action, the Kenya Lionesses are clean sheeted by 39 points, extending the lead of what they did in Kampala. I mean, it's like a replication of what happened in Kampala. Irene?
Yes, I mean, I'm really sad, but it showed our unfitness and lack of endurance showed in the second half. We just opened up and the Kenyans just brought in the tries, one after the other.
Yes, I mean, there was fantastic back play from the Kenya Lionesses. And of course, the issue of fitness that you bring in. And at what stage do you actually judge fitness?
You mean during the game or in the preparation?
Mostly it starts with the preparation.
You know, preparations, it just goes to show that preparations for Uganda were not good. So therefore it affected the fitness. Because you have to start early. You really have to start early. But it really showed, I mean, the experience, the power that the team has, I mean, helped just in the first half.
In the first half, yes.
I mean, the game is two halves. So in the second half, Kenya showed us that they were the more prepared team and they wanted the trophy.
So if actually that consolidated the kind of performance they had in the first 25 minutes of the game, maybe we would have been talking of a different score right now.
Well, if rugby was a shorter game, yes.
It was a shorter game.
Yeah.
And just to bring in Sarah, I mean the ladies take it. Any things that you pick from this particular game today?
Yeah, not really so much. Like my expectation probably has it all. Like I knew Kenyans at second half were holding it back, maybe just to have a look at how Uganda game is gonna be like. But yes, at second half they've proved it. So there's nothing much to say. Like I said, their target was not really the Elgon Cup. Their target is probably
the qualifiers.
And you could tell by the second half how they pick up.
But you see, in a game of rugby, you have to take it as it comes. The game that you're going to play next is the most important game of your life. Don't look at the game you're going to play in 2 months.
And again, I think it's a good thing because it has showed their attitude has to change from now.
Yes.
I mean, if it doesn't change, then again, you might get a team that they will contest, they will play well until the last whistle.
The last minute, yes.
Yeah, so, I mean, again, to me, it's kudos to them. Then again, something very basic that they need to do just
Irene,
to wrap up.
Back to the drawing board, what next for the Ugandan ladies team?
It's a lesson to Uganda. I mean, we can't just think that because we have been good before, we cannot prepare better. So back to management and also the players, we really have to prepare better and always work on our gameplay, our fitness. That is the biggest thing.
And any particular dream you have for the Elgon Cup going forward? What would you like to see improve in the Elgon Cup?
No, I would like it to be like a bigger cup in terms of involving other countries.
Yes.
We will have Zimbabwe in, Botswana in, and then also bring South Africa in, you know, because they're already playing 15s.
Yes.
They always go out of Africa to play. I mean, we should have more countries coming in.
So for you, you see an Elgon Cup that has more teams, maybe 4 or 5 nations involved? Exactly. Okay, yeah, that's a valid dream. Sorry, just to bring you in terms of what next for the Kenya Lionesses now that they've managed to clinch this title.
Okay, what's next for the Kenya Lionesses? It begins now. Practice begins now. This is a win. It's a stepping stone for them. There's more. They're going for more competitive games, and the rest of the teams are not sleeping. They're doing very hard work.
Yes.
So for me, if you ask me, it's a benchmark to tell them where else they're going. So there's so much that they need to do, if you ask me, and I mean, they just need to work for that, because there's nothing more I can actually say.
Just one thing. Earlier on, we were discussing the issue of the male teams. They had the opportunity of linking up Kenya and Uganda, and they played the UK-based side, the British counties. I mean, I would love to see a replica of that for the ladies. Why not?
I agree with you. I mean, something East African. I mean, we are always playing against each other, Uganda against Kenya. Why can't we have Uganda and Kenya play against another team?
Like South Africa, because they're very established down there.
It definitely would be something East African, and it will also bring more bonding into the team, where we can play together, and we can also discover our strengths when we are together. Who's the great East African, maybe flanker, winger? Yeah, I mean, I think that would be a very great idea.
Sarah, you share the same sentiments?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
It would be very nice.
So we're looking forward to a fantastic union between the Kenyan and the rugby ladies team and the Ugandan rugby team, so that you can have even more opposition, because it's only in playing a difficult opposition that you become better. That winds up for the Kenyan Lionesses that take it, and they are crowned this year's Elgon Cup champions. Now we move on to the big one, and this is Kenya versus Uganda, the men's version of the game of the Elgon Cup. We're going for a short break. When we come back, we look at the big one that starts very shortly.
ATP Uncovered. Get unrivaled behind-the-scenes access to the most exciting tennis players on Earth in full HD. Find out what happens off the court with player profiles and tournament stories. Follow the ATP Tour and Grand Slam finals with in-depth features and tactical analysis. Become a tennis insider with ATP Uncovered. New episodes each Wednesday on Zuku Sports.
FIFA Football Mundial, the weekly show that travels the globe to bring you the stars of today, the talents of tomorrow, and the heroes of the past. Plus news and in-depth reports from all the major competitions. FIFA Football Mundial, the football show that knows no boundaries. New episodes in full HD, Wednesdays on Zuku Sports.